Hey there, my name is Tolly Bryn. Welcome to the Joy of Awareness. Today I wanted to talk about my thoughts on the COVID pandemic. There are many things to think about with how the COVID pandemic has been approached, and I want to approach it now from a sort of individualistic health perspective. My own philosophy works on the premise that we are all fully responsible for our own health, and that doctors and the pharmaceutical industry just shouldn't really come close to human health except in very dire and acute circumstances. So if there's a very acute illness or an accident or something like that. And what really bugs me about how this pandemic has been handled is the absolute negation of personal responsibility at all. And what I mean by this is that the human body has incredible capabilities for fighting infection and for staying healthy when given the correct tools, the correct nutrition, and the time and space to heal, through fasting, for instance. There has been absolutely no focus on individual actions other than, alcohol rubbing on your hands and wearing a mask and stuff like that. These are just incredibly superficial and, potentially, they're probably not as effective as you think for keeping down the spread of a virus. Like, a virus will spread no matter what. That's just a given. What we should be focusing on much more is just building a body that is capable of fighting this infection when it comes. And there is a reason why there are so many people that get COVID and show no symptoms. And it's not a question of likelihood or statistics. It's a question of health. It really is. And what I find so infuriating is how people inflate statistics with likelihood. It's like, if 20% of people, just as an example, these are not real numbers, but if 20% of people die from COVID between the ages of 20 and 30, I'm 29 now, that does not mean that I have a 20% chance of dying from COVID. Those are not the same thing. But this is how people have been thinking about it. I'm fully certain that if I get COVID, I won't die and I won't get sick, and I will easily overcome it simply because I know principles of health that will really help me. And I'm not saying like I'm some superhuman. This is just something that all human beings possess within their bodies. This body that we have, these hands and this, the heart and the liver and the kidneys and all of this stuff, this is just incredibly complex and intricate and beautifully sophisticated machinery that, when properly functioning, these things won't affect you. Things like COVID won't affect you or kill you if your body is healthy. And this is the biggest lie that we've been told by the medical industry. And in some ways, the COVID pandemic is kind of like the zenith of medical stupidity, in my view. It's just, the premise is that regular people have nothing to say about their own health, that the only thing they can do is wait for, the government and the medical industry to save them from this plight, that they should just stay inside, eat shitty food, watch Netflix, and just let other people take care of them. And this is just the worst possible approach to health that you can ever find. And the worst thing is that you can't even really talk to people about this, because people are just absolutely ignorant of their own potential for healing. I try to avoid talking about this to my friends and family because, I try to avoid it because it's just a really contentious subject, and it's just really difficult to get people to see sense, simply because we're being lied to all the time, and the news sources and the media and everybody is either willfully stupid or just willfully spreading false propaganda, and it's just infuriating. It just really annoys me that people can't seem to think for themselves, and I'm not, I'm judging, but I'm not really judging that harshly, because I know that I was myself in the same place, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. This is the environment that we're raised in. We are raised to not question what we read on the news, not question what governments tell us to do, and especially not to question what the medical establishment tells us to do. Consult your physician are the motto of the medical industry. Even though that's probably the worst advice you could ever get if you want to be truly healthy. I don't know. It's just really gets on my nerves. It really does. And I don't really know exactly what can be done about this, because this is just a systemic flaw in our society. But I truly believe that the answer to this and many other social plights such as this is simply that people take responsibility of their own mind and of their own body. That is the absolute most important step. The quote that's attributed to Gandhi, whether that's really something he said or not, I'm not sure. But he said something like, "Be the change you want to see in the world." And I think that really hits the nail on the head. In order to create a reality that you personally, as an individual, want to live in, you need to develop the characteristics needed of an individual living in such a society or such an environment, whether it's in this society or you start your own commune or whatever it is. I think the most important thing that anybody can do in regards to health especially is just to say, like, wow, okay, I'm not going to trust these people anymore. I'm not going to trust anybody, in fact. And there's no reason to trust anybody, air quotes. Why should you trust anybody? Why not trust your own experience, your own experimentation, the empirical evidence that you gather from your own direct experience through healing? Like, try out a fast, try simplifying your diet, try simplifying everything, and see what happens. See if you feel better, see if you feel healthier and stronger. And if you do, you're onto something. Or you can run back to your doctor. You can go and buy your allopathic medicine and live in ignorance. That's your choice. It really is. Anyway, I'm not going to rant anymore on this right now. I just hope you have a good day. And I hope you find true health. Check out my book, Health Simplified. It's on Amazon. And I'll leave a link down below. It's about my own story in healing and the insights I've gained on the way. And check out my website as well. That's joyofawareness.com. I've got many articles on there on health in all aspects, and I'm sure you'll enjoy many of them. Otherwise, I hope you'll like and subscribe and leave a comment if you enjoyed this video. And if you want me to talk about something in specific, or if you have a question or a bone to pick or whatever, just leave a comment and I will answer. Otherwise, hope you have a great day. Bye.